What's up, Yeti Club? Now, we know everyone hates waiting in lines at theme parks, but some rides make the wait a much more pleasant experience than others. That's why today I'm going through the top 10 queue lines in Walt Disney World. Before we start, keep in mind that I'm only ranking these based on the queue lines, not on any pre-shows, so that will definitely affect where some attractions land on the list. Starting at number 10, Frozen Ever After. There are definitely some people still a little bitter about this ride replacing Maelstrom, and to be honest, I'm one of those people, but there's no denying it's pretty fun to wind through Arendelle, especially the little visit to Wandering Oaken's trading post. At number 9, The Seas with Nemo and Friends. This queue has a good level of immersion and it's always fun to dive under the waves. Plus, going from out in the hot, bright Florida sun inside to the cool, dark sea is quite refreshing. Number 8, Star Tours. I have an affinity for ride vehicles, so seeing a full-scale Star Speeder 3000 is really cool to me. And anytime you can see C-3PO and R2-D2 in person is a huge bonus. But my favorite part about this queue is actually the little details they add on the giant screen that make it seem like you're in the Star Wars Universe airport. I'm also a big fan of the security droid. At number 7, Pirates of the Caribbean. If that pan flute doesn't get you excited, then I don't know what will. Add on that you get to wind through a Spanish castle and see some pirate skeletons in a dungeon locked in an internal chess battle, and you got yourself a high quality queue. At number 6, Haunted Mansion. One of the first queues to show us that a line could be entertaining all by itself. The interactivity and the ghostly backstories immerse you in the story before you ever set foot in the mansion. The only thing holding this queue back from being a better ranking is that it's still outdoors, so the immersion isn't quite complete. Number 5, Rise of the Resistance. Rise continues the incredible immersion that is started by Batuu as a whole. And while there's not a ton going on in the queue itself, it does do a great job of keeping you immersed and building anticipation as we see more and more Resistance gear before the real action starts. Number 4, Toy Story Mania. As if being shrunken down to toy size and walking amongst some all-time favorite classic toys wasn't enough, you also get to see and even interact with a giant Mr. Potato Head animatronic before entering Andy's room. At number 3, Expedition Everest. This queue tells such a fantastic and detailed story without ever saying a word out loud. You learn so much about the Yeti, the mountain, and the culture. And the immersion level is spectacular. Even the legend himself, Joe Rohde, said this queue is one of his favorite spots in Disney because it's one of the few places you can look around 360 degrees and no matter where you look, it 100% remains fully immersed in the story. You really are at a base camp in the Himalayas. Now obviously things like Galaxy's Edge have changed the game as far as achieving that level of immersion, but when you consider this attraction opened in 2006, it's clear that this queue is something special. Number 2, Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run. Just getting up close and personal with the Falcon is almost enough to land this high on the list on its own, but adding in a walk through a functioning Batuu spaceport solidifies its claim to second place. Before we hit number 1, let's give some honorable mentions. 1 to Space Mountain for its great ethereal music, 1 to Peter Pan for being most improved and going from an endless abyss of nothingness to an endless abyss with interactive entertainment along the way, and 1 for the attractions that aren't open yet but will probably make this list when they are. I'm specifically looking at you, Ratatouille, Guardians, and Tron. And finally, the gold medal goes to Flight of Passage. Complete immersion through multiple scenes, each one unique yet still filled with ridiculous levels of detail. I really can't say enough about this queue. It could be open just by itself as a walkthrough and I'd be satisfied. The fact that it ends up at one of the best attractions in the entire world is just the cherry on top. So there's my list of best queues in Walt Disney World. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.